Hey guys, this is a team and player showcase for NHL North American Edmonton Oilers. And first up, we have Connor McDavid with the overall average of 95. His potential is franchise, and his attributes. Player type is playmaker, and his lowest being his physical at a 3.5-star rating, with the rest being in a full 5 stars. Up next, we have Leon Draisaitl, overall average of 92, and his potential is franchise. Attributes, let's see here. Player type is sniper, his lowest being his skating at 4 stars, physical being at a 4.5 stars, and everything else is a solid 5 stars. Up next is Ryan Nugent Hopkins with an overall average of 86. His potential being top 6F. And onto his attributes. Player type being a two-way forward. We have physical being his weakest attribute at 3 stars. We have his defense, skating, and shooting at 4 stars. His senses at 4.5 stars, and his puck skills at 5 stars. And here we have Darnell Nurse with the overall average of 85, potential being a top 4D, and his attributes. Player type is a two-way defender, and his lowest being senses at a 3 star. We have his puck skills, shooting at 3.5 stars, defense, skating, and physical at a 4-star rating. Here we have Oscar Klefbom with the overall average of 84. His potential is elite, and onto his attributes. His player type is a two-way defender, and let's see, puck skills, skating, senses, and physical are at a 3.5-star rating, and his shooting and defense are at 4-star. Up next is Adam Larson, the overall average of 83. His potential being top 4D, and onto his attributes. Player type is defensive defenseman, and his lowest being his puck skills, senses, and shooting at 3 stars. His skating is at 3.5 stars, and so is his physical. And we have his defense at 4 stars. Here we have Ethan Bear, overall average of 82. Potential is top 4D. And his attributes. Player type is offensive defenseman. Defenseman, my bad. And let's see here. We have puck skills. We have his senses and shooting at 3 stars. We have his defense and physical at 3.5 stars, and his skating at a 4-star. Here we have Andreas Antanasio. Overall average is a 82. His potential is top 6F. And his attributes. His player type is a playmaker. Let's see. Lowest stat is senses at 3 stars. Shooting, puck skills, defense, and his physical are at 3.5. And his skating is at a 4.5. And here we have Kaylor Yamamoto, overall average of 82, and his potential being a top 6F. Here are his attributes. His player type is Playmaker. His lowest stat being physical at 2.5 stars. We have his defense at 3 stars, senses and shooting at 3.5 stars, and puck skills with skating at 4 stars. And here we have James Neal with an overall average of 81. His potential is top 6F. And these are his attributes. His player type is a power forward. And his weakest attributes being senses and defense at 3 stars. We have his skating, his physical, and his puck skills at 3.5 stars, and his shooting at 4 stars. Here we have Zach Cassian, overall average of 81. Potential is top 9F. And these are his attributes. His player type is a power forward. His lowest attributes being puck skills, senses, and defense at 3 stars. We have his skating and his shooting at 3.5 stars, and physical for full 5 stars. And here we have Matt Benning, overall average of 80. Potential is top 6D. And his attributes. His player type is a two-way defender. And lowest stat being senses at 2.5. We have his puck skills, shooting at 3. Defense and skating are at 3.5. And his physical is at a 4 star. Next up, Caleb Jones. Overall average being at 80. His potential is top 6D. And his attributes. His player type being a two-way defender. Lowest stats being puck skills, senses, shooting, and physical at a 3 star. We have his defense and skating at 3.5. Here we have Alex Chison, overall average 80. His potential is top 9F. And his attributes. Player type is a power forward. See here, lowest stats being puck skills, senses, and skating at a 3-star rating. We have his defense, physical, and shooting at 3.5. Here we have Tyler Ennis, overall average 79, potential being top 9F, and his attributes. Player type being a sniper. Let's see, his weakest would be his physical at 2 stars. Defense, senses are at a 3 star. His skating, his shooting, and puck skills are at 3.5. And here we have Chris Russell, overall average of 79. His potential being a top 6D. And his attributes. His player type is defensive defenseman. And lowest attribute being senses at 2.5. His shooting and puck skills at 3. His defense and physical at 3.5. And his skating at 4. Next up, Chujar Kyra, overall average of 78. His potential is top 9F. And his attributes. His player type is grinder. And his lowest stats being senses at 2.5 stars. Puck skills, defense. Puck skills and defense are at 3 stars. And his skating and shooting are at a 3.5. and his physical at a 4-star. Here we have Rakim Nygaard, overall average of 78, and his potential is top 9F. His attributes, let's see here. Player type is two-way forward. And his stats, lowest attributes being defense, puck skills, senses, and physical at 3 stars. We have his skating and his shooting at 3.5. And Gaetan Haas with the overall average of 78. His potential is bottom 6F. And these are his attributes. Player type being a two-way forward. His lowest attributes are puck skills and senses at 2.5 stars. Shooting at 3 stars. His physical also at 3 stars. And defense and skating at 3.5 stars. Here we have Riley Sheehan. Overall average of 77. Potential being top 9F. And his attributes. Player type is a two-way forward. Weakest attributes being in senses at 2.5 stars. Puck skills, defense, and shooting at 3 stars. And skating is at a 3.5. And last we have his physical at 4 stars. Here we have Josh Archibald. Overall average being a 76. His potential is a bottom 6F. And these are his attributes. Player type is a sniper. And his lowest stats being senses and physical at 2.5 stars. Defense, puck skills, and shooting at 3 stars. And skating at 3.5. And last we have Patrick Russell with the overall average of 75. Potential is bottom 6F. And his attributes. His player type is two-way forward. And the weakest stats being puck skills, defense, and senses at 2.5 stars. Shooting at 3 stars. Physical and skating at 3.5. And that was our team and player showcase for NHL North American Edmonton Oilers.